What's up, Cowboys Nation? Today I've got some jaw-dropping news to share with you today. The Dallas Cowboys are reportedly considering a blockbuster move that could completely change the trajectory of the franchise. Word has been circulating that the Cowboys are not only thinking about trading their longtime starting quarterback Dak Prescott, but they're also setting their sights on a future with Shedeur Sanders, the dynamic quarterback from Jackson State University. Now, I know this sounds like something straight out of a wild trade rumor, but trust me, the pieces are starting to line up in a way that makes this feel more and more possible by the day. So, sit tight, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive deep into what this could mean for America's team. You're not going to want to miss this one. Let's first talk about Dak Prescott, who's been at the helm of the Cowboys offense since 2016. Dak has certainly made his mark in the NFL, breaking franchise records, becoming a two-time Pro Bowler, and leading the Cowboys to playoff appearances. But despite all the regular season success, the Cowboys have consistently fallen short when it comes to postseason performance, and that's been a sore spot for the team. Fans love Dak, and he's undoubtedly been a strong leader, but there's no denying that his playoff inconsistency has led to questions about whether or not he's the quarterback who can finally take Dallas back to the promised land, the Super Bowl. He's had some heroic moments, but he's also had games where key turnovers or mistakes cost the Cowboys crucial victories. With the roster that Dallas has put together, especially on defense and with playmakers like CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard, there's a growing sense that the team might need a fresh spark at quarterback to finally push them over the hump. Could that spark come from Shedeur Sanders? Now, let's take a moment to talk about Shedeur Sanders, because this kid is no joke. The son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, Shedeur has been absolutely lighting up college football. He's been the focal point of a Jackson State offense that's dominated its competition, putting up gaudy numbers and leading his team to multiple championships. Shedeur is a rare talent. He's got the arm strength, the mobility, and the football IQ to be a star at the next level. What really sets him apart, though, is his poise. This kid looks like he's been playing under the bright lights of the NFL for years. He's shown the ability to read defenses, make quick decisions, and deliver pinpoint throws in pressure situations. If you've watched him play, you can see why scouts are all over him. Some say he has the potential to be the next big thing at quarterback, and his stock has only risen after a standout college career. We're talking about a quarterback who could very well be ready to step into an NFL starting role right away, which is exactly the type of player the Cowboys might want to add to their roster. The talent is undeniable, and with his pedigree, he's already been called the future of the quarterback position by many in the NFL world. The big question, though, is, could the Cowboys actually trade Dak Prescott to bring in Shedeur Sanders? The business side of this is where things get interesting. Dak still has a few years left on his current contract, which is a 4-year, $160 million extension that he signed back in 2021. The contract, however, includes a hefty salary cap hit over the next few seasons. So, financially, it's a bit complicated for the Cowboys to move on from Dak without taking a significant dead cap charge. But here's the thing: in today's NFL, teams are getting more creative with cap space. If the Cowboys feel like Shedeur Sanders is a generational talent who could elevate this team for the next decade, they may be willing to take the hit. And who knows, they might even be able to restructure Dak's deal in a way that makes it more feasible to trade him without crippling their cap space. But even beyond the financials, the Cowboys would need to figure out a way to secure a high draft pick. This is where things get really intriguing. The Cowboys don't currently have a top 3 pick, and in all likelihood, Sanders would be taken within the top 3 of the 2025 draft. That means if the Cowboys are serious about making this move, they'd need to trade up, potentially packaging Dak Prescott along with some future draft picks to secure that coveted top-tier selection. If they did manage to pull off that trade and bring in Shedeur Sanders, it would mark the beginning of an entirely new chapter for the Dallas Cowboys. Shedeur is young, incredibly talented, and has the kind of leadership qualities that could help him thrive in the NFL. If the Cowboys surround him with the same talented roster that they've built around Dak, with weapons like CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, and an elite defense, Shedeur could have everything he needs to be successful right away. But, as exciting as that sounds, there's always risk involved. Drafting a quarterback, especially one coming from a lower-tier program like Jackson State, means there's an unknown factor at play. College football and the NFL are two completely different worlds, and there's no guarantee that Shedeur will be able to make that leap successfully. Can he handle the pressure of playing in the NFC East? Will he be able to keep up with the elite defenses of the NFL? These are questions that only time will answer, but the potential is there for a franchise-changing move. On the flip side, the Cowboys would also be able to free up significant cap space by moving on from Dak Prescott. Dak's deal is one of the largest in the league, and by trading him for a rookie quarterback on a much cheaper contract, the Cowboys could allocate those savings to other areas of the roster. This is something that's extremely important in the modern NFL, where teams need to maximize their resources to stay competitive. Think about it: with Shedeur on a rookie contract, the Cowboys could load up in other areas, like adding more talent on the offensive line or improving their defense even further. Plus, with a young quarterback like Shedeur, the team would have a ton of flexibility to build for the future while still being able to compete in the present. But we can't ignore the other side of the coin. Dak Prescott has been the face of the franchise for years, and his leadership in the locker room is invaluable. He's a proven commodity, and as much as we've talked about his postseason struggles, he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Moving on from Dak would be a huge emotional shift for the team and the fanbase. The Cowboys would be gambling on a rookie quarterback with high potential but unproven ability at the NFL level. It's a risky proposition, but one that could pay huge dividends if Shedeur turns out to be everything the Cowboys hope he can be. In conclusion, while the idea of trading Dak Prescott and drafting Shedeur Sanders may sound far-fetched at first, there are certainly scenarios where this could make sense for the Dallas Cowboys. The team has a solid foundation, and adding a young, talented quarterback could be just what they need to finally get over the hump and bring a championship back to Dallas. Of course, this all depends on how the Cowboys front office views Dak's future with the team, and whether they believe Shedeur Sanders is the long-term answer at quarterback. But if they pull it off, it could change the entire landscape of the franchise for the next decade. So, let me know what you think down in the comments. Would you trade Dak Prescott for Shedeur Sanders if you were running the show? Is this the bold move the Cowboys need to take their franchise to the next level, or should they stick with Dak? I want to hear your thoughts, so be sure to comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more in-depth Cowboys coverage and breaking news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep the faith, Cowboys Nation, and stay hyped.